On today's show, some of the best TV on the box, starting with two of the stars of Saturday night hit Primeval. Ben Miller and Lucy Brown are here, looking forward to that. Also, we survived the jungle in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. We have set Gemma Atkinson a far easier task this morning. She's got some really good ideas for a pampering break for half-term. First though, well, this is an incredible story. Now, imagine you've been with your partner for over 3 years, you've got a child together, and of course you plan to spend the rest of your lives together. But then one day you find out he's not at all who he said he was, and everything you knew about him was a complete lie. Not only that, you realise he's conned you out of £600,000, all of which happened to Christine Handy. Christine is here now. What a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And this is obviously somebody who knows exactly what they're doing, who was able to manipulate you very much. You'd just been divorced, hadn't you? So you're quite vulnerable when you're.
Yes.
You really are. You are, of course you are. And he obviously spotted that. When did you meet and how did he introduce himself?
I was just having a coffee on the way to work one morning, and he asked if he could join me. I was reading my paper, minding my own business, and I suddenly realised that all the other tables were empty. So I felt I was being rude to him.
Right.
So we just got chatting.
Right, just got chatting away. There he is, you know, and he was presumably, you thought to yourself, oh, you know, he's a nice bloke. He knew how to behave to you.
Very.
He knew what buttons to push and all of that. When did the lies start? Looking back, when did he start lying to you?
That day.
Really, really? What did he say to you?
Well, he introduced himself as Alexander de Arakan to start with, but that is one of his names. He has many.
Oh, he has many names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Further on into the relationship, he came along with his passport, which I thought was quite unusual.
Yeah.
And I just put it down to him being slightly eccentric.
Right.
He was very well educated. His name was de Arakan de Rothschild Hatton. And I said, well, why did you bring the passport? And he said, you know, when people find out which family I come from, that, you know, he didn't want to go into a relationship with somebody thinking he was a de Rothschild. So I wasn't. Sorry, am I making sense?
Yes, you're making total sense. You're making total sense. So he was kind of showing you that he was part of the Rothschilds family in his crazy mind. He was part of that.
But I already knew him anyway, so it wasn't something that drew me in. I wasn't impressed with.
Right.
Because I actually cracked a joke at the time and said, "Oh, Rothschilds, don't they make cigarettes?"
Right.
And it was
Okay.
being Rothmans, and he was a bit.
Oh, I see. So he was playing this kind of double game of sort of saying, I'm from a very rich and influential family, might be for the wrong side of the bed, but I'm a very, you know, and I don't want people sort of targeting me in order to get to my family or to my money. That's very clever, isn't it? Because in fact, he's the one that's the complete scoundrel. When did he start taking money from you?
I was wooed. He'd never met anyone like me. Wanted to spend the rest of my life, the rest of his life with me. He talked about having a family because he didn't have a family of his own, because he told me both of his real parents were dead and he was adopted.
Okay.
And he was getting into his he was in his 40s. He was getting late. He needed to have a family soon.
Right.
And at the time, I'm sort of 39. I've already got 3 children, and I'm thinking I don't need any more.
Right.
But here's the man. He wants to marry me. He loves me. The least I can do is give him the gift of being a father.
Right. So you were kind of swept off your feet by this bloke, really, weren't you?
Yes.
But then he started. Now, first of all, he said he needed, because I've written it down here because it's so extraordinary. £175,000 he wanted to do a course at the London Business School, and then he took £41,500 off you about a property company that he wanted to set up. £105,000 you gave him to invest on your behalf, but obviously that's away. And then he said he had an urgent tax bill of £50,000. How was he able to explain to you why he couldn't pay the money and you needed to give him the money?
The first sum of money I gave him was before I was pregnant.
Right.
And that was to do his executive MBA at the London Business School.
Right.
And you know, our relationship was built on that. For 3.5 years, I assumed he was studying. Because he couldn't spend a lot of time with us.
So you thought he was away studying.
Yeah.
And in fact, what he actually spent the money on was £115,000 in cars, £114,000 in clothes, 26 grand on jewellery and other assorted sundries, almost £250,000. So he was frittering your money away. That's almost £500,000 of yours that he frittered away, and the grand total is over £600,000.
Yeah.
How did you get, I mean, did you have to sell your house? Did you do all that?
Well, I sold my house while I was with him because he told me he'd got a job he was starting in Switzerland in January 2006. And I was pregnant with his son.
Right.
The majority of the money came once I was pregnant.
Right,
And
okay.
I can see,
Yeah.
and with hindsight, and I can now see how it works. I've got 3 children on my own, and I'm pregnant with his son.
Yep.
He's coming along with, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You just think, well, he's the father of my child.
Because you don't ever. Was there at any time at all that you thought to yourself, "Hang on a minute,
Yeah.
my money's draining away, and I'm not sure about this"?
Well, I could see my money draining away, but it was always a promise that this job was on the cards. He also had money offshore.
Right. So was he saying to you, "I can't get my money is all tied up"?
Well, obviously he was still living his life. I was at home with 4 children. He's still living his life, and I'm thinking, well, he's got to have an income from somewhere. He was telling me that he could only bring so much over to avoid tax.
Jeez.
It's just stories on top of stories, and suddenly he was a very emotional man as well. He turned up at my house one day absolutely distraught, panic-stricken, and in tears. He told me he had dual nationality, that he was a Swiss citizen and a British citizen, and he'd filled out an Inland Revenue form incorrectly, and now the Inland Revenue wanted him for £80,000.
Right.
He was supposed to have been doing consultancy work abroad, and that's the money went into a Swiss bank account.
Right.
He'd made this mistake. I couldn't raise £80,000. I took a charge out on my house for 50. But again, I'm pregnant with his son, and I'm panicking because he's telling me, sorry.
No, and I can understand how emotional it is. You've been through absolute hell. Somebody that you've trusted, and somebody that you've loved, and somebody, for goodness.
Sure.
Right. So was he saying to you, "I can't get my money is all tied up"?
Well, obviously he was still living his life. I was at home with 4 children. He's still living his life, and I'm thinking, well, he's got to have an income from somewhere. He was telling me that he could only bring so much over to avoid tax.
Jeez.
It's just stories on top of stories, and suddenly he was a very emotional man as well. He turned up at my house one day absolutely distraught, panic-stricken, and in tears. He told me he had dual nationality, that he was a Swiss citizen and a British citizen, and he'd filled out an Inland Revenue form incorrectly, and now the Inland Revenue wanted him for £80,000.
Right.
He was supposed to have been doing consultancy work abroad, and that's the money went into a Swiss bank account.
Right.
He'd made this mistake. I couldn't raise £80,000. I took a charge out on my house for 50. But again, I'm pregnant with his son, and I'm panicking because he's telling me, sorry.
No, and I can understand how emotional it is. You've been through absolute hell. Somebody that you've trusted, and somebody that you've loved, and somebody, for goodness sake, you've had a baby together. Of course you would be emotional about it. He's gone. He's scarpered. You don't know where he is?
No.
Nobody knows where he is?
No.
And is your concern that he's doing this to somebody else?
Well, yes, he's bankrupt. He can't have a bank account. What's he living on?
And it's kind of the way he seems to, obviously we can't get his side of the story because he's not here, because we can't find him. But it seems that the way he operates is to prey on women, vulnerable women, and that's how he makes a living.
Yes.
That's how he does it. It's very difficult for you because obviously there's always going to be this tie because you've got your son, and that's going to be really hard to explain to him about his dad. That's going to be really difficult, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
But how are you coping with this, and have you been able to move on?
I've got a good family, and I've got some great friends.
Good. And that's going to help you. That's sort of listen. From what you've been through, I'm not surprised that you're upset and emotional. It's absolutely horrendous. It really is what's happened to you when somebody uses you like that. And you're a very bright woman. You're an intelligent woman. It just shows you that anybody can be taken in. I wish you all the best. I really do. I really do. And I sincerely hope that he hasn't conned anyone else. Thank you very, very much indeed. Now then, a reminder about our mum and daughter model search. We met our judges yesterday, do you remember? They're going to be looking through your entries. Still plenty of time to get in touch. We are scouring the country in the hunt for Britain's best undiscovered mother and daughter models. The minimum age for entrance is 16, and you must both be at least 5'8" tall. You could win an introduction to Independent, one of the UK's top model agencies, a year's supply of the latest Model Me hair care products, and keep your style up to date with haircuts from Tony and Guy for a whole 12 months.
To enter, you need to take a head and shoulder picture of you both on your mobile phone and send it to 60001. Messages cost 50p plus your standard network charge. Don't forget to include your names, where you're from and your vital statistics. All terms and conditions can be found at www.gm.tv/terms, and suitable pictures may also appear on our website. You can enter your picture for free via gm.tv.
So there we are. Good luck to you. You've got just over a week to get in touch. Closing date is the 15th of February. Right, quick break now. When we get back... Oh, it's fabulous. The stars of Primeval are here in a couple of minutes. Looking forward to that. Hi, welcome back. Still to come, celebrity friends, a high-profile job and a perfect family. This woman, well, she had it all, really, but she was also hiding a secret that very nearly killed her. Find out what that was in just a few minutes. First, though, monsters, dinosaurs and time travel. We're talking Primeval.
What are the chances of it reopening?
Some do, some don't.
But it could be tomorrow.
Or it could be in 1,000 years' time. We just don't know. That's the problem.
I'm sorry, James. We may have to face the fact that we've lost them.
How long can they survive?
If they find water, then they could survive for a few weeks. If they don't...
So what do we do now?
We carry on. Daphne and Scrappy will have to take charge of the anomaly operation.
That's very funny. Ben Miller and Lucy Brown are here. It's really good to see you.
And you.
Great show. What a laugh. You must have had great fun doing it, surely.
I know, it's good
It's
fun.
brilliant fun. Yeah, yeah. It's like being a kid again. It's sort of, running away from monsters. It's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
I know, it's really good. But you're a real rat bag in it, aren't you?
I'm horrible.
Yeah, really horrible. But that must be really good fun, though, being horrible. Being horrible is much more fun than being nice.
It is.
It comes very easily to you, doesn't it?
But he is.
I do my best to seem unpleasant. Obviously my golden nature keeps shining through. But,
But it's very, very good. And what's really interesting about your character, I think, is that you've come back this season as somebody else.
Yeah, a completely different character.
That's really
Yeah.
strange,
Yeah.
really strange. And poor old Cutter, it's messing with his head because
Yeah.
you were supposed to be somebody else and he can't
No,
understand.
absolutely, and it was actually towards the end of series 1 when I was sort of discovering what I knew Claudia was going to disappear. I was very excited to find out what they were going to do, and in fact Jenny's been amazing to play because she is so different. She's much more kind of
Totally.
dynamic and confident, and I look a lot different to her.
Very hot, I have to say. Very, very sexy and sassy woman. No, you're brilliant.
well, you get because Claudia before was not quite the sort of snappy dresser that.
No, she was much more kind of reserved, and I always say that kind of when we met Claudia, she was kind of working her way up in her job, but Jenny has walked in straight at the top of, and it's PR and it's glamour and it's flirtatious.
She's a bit of a ball breaker, I think, is probably the term, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
She knows how
a bit
to work
scary.
it, which I think is terrifying, Cutter.
It's very, very scared. What's it like working with the CGI though? Because that must be really strange. How do they do that? Because obviously it's all put in afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, really, at the time, it's not an awful lot of blue screen. It's just not there.
Right.
And but
The
it's
effects
fine.
are great, aren't they? They're amazing special effects.
Yeah, they're
really good.
It's amazing.
And we were saying, that you would be terrified of that. If I was, a young kid watching that, when I was young, I'd have been
How do they
so
cope?
scared. They love it. They absolutely love it. But right now, I would be saying, I was telling you, my dog goes crazy. He will be going mad. Absolutely. He will be jumping around and going crazy. He watches Harry Hill on a Saturday, because you've got to, it's the law, because we love Harry Hill.
Yeah.
And then after Harry Hill, obviously, there's Primeval. And he's fine with Harry Hill, no problem at all, absolutely fine. And then Primeval, as soon as a monster comes on, up at the telly, going mad.
Well, maybe he's not
here's the-
worried that Harry Hill's going to eat him.
But he's like, and he's not. He's a very sort of passive wee dog.
What breed
He's
is
never
it?
done it for. It's a border terrier.
Oh, I love them.
And he's so cute. And he was fine with Jurassic Park.
Does he
But
watch
it's
television? Does he
Primeval.
properly concentrate though?
He's a TV
Or is he a
critic.
sort of one eye on the
notes.
TV, one eye on his bone? Does he properly focus?
Well,
Could do
he's
better.
very, 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 very into Primeval. Let's just say
Yeah.
that. He really, really is. Now, there's going to be toys made of Primeval, isn't there? Monsters and toys.
So exciting.
And are you being a toy?
I've got a toy. I'm each toy, each action figure.
You a toy? How cool!
It's so brilliant.
So
I've got mine in my just above my on top of my loo at home. With my each action figure has an accompanying creature, and I'm teamed up with the future predator.
Fantastic! That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know that's it? Anything you do now is kind of all downhill if you've
It's
been
all
a toy.
downhill. Yeah.
I mean, that, it's nothing. That's it.
It's
That's
absolutely
it.
fantastic. Also, the toy manufacturer sent me a box of them, so I've got
Cool.
I've got like
I
20
haven't even
of them.
got one yet, and you've got like a
That's outrageous. We need to sort that out. I'll tell you what, you're never off the telly. Because we see you, of course, on a Friday and Saturday, Friday in
I
moving
know.
wallpaper.
I'm doing all the work that I didn't do in the previous 15 years, I think. I'm
all
just getting
coming out
it.
now.
Most people just have a sort of steady career. I'm just doing all mine in this year.
This great lump.
And you'll never see me again. You've never seen me before.
But it's very interesting, moving wallpaper, because we see the soap being made and then we watch Echo Beach, we watch the actual soap. It's very interesting, it's very different.
It's really fun. It was really fun to do because we were filming a clever thing for them to do really as well, because they only need one set. Obviously, we've got the set of Echo
course you
Beach,
have,
and
so you
we
can use
film
that.
on the same set.
Right.
So it's 2 shows for the price of 1 set. But the really nice thing was we'd come out of our sort of production office with a camera walking across to the Echo Beach set, and the Echo Beach actors would all be there, and they'd be all in the back of shot filming them. And
Right.
sometimes during an actual shot, we'd actually ad-lib with them as they walked past and stuff
that's
like that.
really good.
It was so much fun.
You wouldn't be getting that in any other drama, really,
No,
would
it's just
you?
amazing. It's just amazing. The
incredible.
only thing that I worry about is that people are going to spot I'm doing exactly the same character in Primeval as I am in.
You can only play
Moving
horrors.
Wallpaper.
you were
Yeah.
filming
Basically,
on the
this
same
is it. Yeah.
You're one character.
I know, I've got one character.
nailed it.
But yeah, I know.
If you haven't seen Moving Wallpaper, this is a taster. This gives you an idea of what it's like.
Week 2, halfway through the series. No big deal. Wrong answer. Big deal. This is it, right now. This is where the pressure really kicks in, yeah? I will not let cheap practical jokes undermine everything that we've achieved here.
Oh, you're very good at being bad.
I love
you
being
are
bad.
very, very good at being bad. So that's Moving Wallpaper tomorrow night, 9 o'clock, and obviously me and my dog Rocky will be going crazy in front of Primeval and lots of monsters. What time's it on? 7:20, isn't it?
On Saturday.
7:20
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Yeah.
So good luck with it, and I know you're going
Thank
to be doing
you.
another series, which is
Yes.
great. It really
Yes.
is good. It's
Yeah.
proper Saturday night entertainment. It's great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Now, Mother's Day is less than a month away. GMTV is searching for Britain's best mum. So is your mother 1 in a million?
I love my mum because she's always there for me. Whenever I'm feeling down or ill, I just speak to her or even look at her and she makes me feel much better.
I personally believe I do have the greatest mum in the world because she can actually read my mind. Whether I'm upset or happy or whatever, she always knows what I'm thinking.
No matter what, I know the front door's always open for me. I can go around and pop in, just have a gab, a cup of tea, or let out all my emotions on her shoulder, and she'll still give me a big hug and tell me that she loves me.
We phone each other about absolutely everything. I can call her about the smallest detail, a little funny thing that's happened to me in a day. And also, whenever I'm ill, I always go straight to her house and lie on her sofa.
I love her more than anyone in the world and she's the woman in my life.
Love you, Mum.
So there you are. If you'd like to nominate your mother for the title of Britain's Best Mum, you can find an online entry form on our website, gm.tv. Closing date is Monday, so you've not got that much time. Now, in the 1990s, my next guest seemingly had it all. She was the editor of a high-profile fashion magazine, had a phone book full of celebrity friends and a loving husband and daughter back at home. But Sally Brampton was also hiding a secret that led her to nearly taking her own life on 2 occasions. She's here now. Sally, it's really good to see you. And I think the book is called Shoot the Damn Dog. And I think that's a really clever title because it's about depression, isn't it?
Yes.
Because that's what you suffered from.
Absolutely.
But reading it, though, what I was really amazed about was the fact that you still functioned. You actually still managed somehow. You must be very, very strong to keep going.
Yes, well, the thing about depression is that, well, for me, it lasted for a long time.
Yeah.
So you get periods when you're very, very low, when I was in hospital usually, but then you can come up again.
Right.
So it has periods of sort of remission, but, and I kept on thinking that I was better, and it actually took me
4 years to get better.
That's a long, long time.
Yeah.
Because you say that you say in the book as well, it's almost like a coping illness because people sort of get on with it, and we're still in this country very, very bad at dealing with any form of mental illness. If you were sitting there with a broken leg, everybody would go, "Oh,
I know.
What a shame, you poor you." But if you say to someone, "Actually, I've got depression, or I'm not feeling, I'm not feeling myself, and I will have to go into a psychiatric hospital," it's like, oh,
yeah,
really difficult. And in the kind of job you're doing as well, the stigma would be very difficult to overcome.
Yes, and also I think that because we think depression, or we associate depression with weakness, we tend not to think that it's going to happen to people who are successful or strong or confident or happy. Depression is no, respecter of status or money or anything. And that's why I like to think of it or describe it as an illness, because otherwise we have sort of, character definitions around weakness and morality, etc., which really has got nothing to do with it.
No, and it doesn't help either.
No, and the reason I wrote the book was because it's such a lonely illness, You feel so alone, and you think nobody else feels the same way that you do. And because it's not spoken about or written about very much, it's getting much better, I must say. People are ashamed of it and they hide. And one of the symptoms of depression actually is to isolate anyway. But it's a very, it's a tough illness to deal with. And unless we talk about it, I really don't think it's going to improve.
No, I agree with you. I mean, the book called Shoot the Damn Dog, and you were talking about it can affect anybody. It was Winston Churchill, wasn't it? He used to call it his black dog.
Yes, he did.
And he was incredibly successful. He's a flawed human being, but he was incredibly successful, right man in the right place at the right time. But people like that have had depression. So many people have as well. So many people have had to deal with it. And the thing about you really were one of these kind of superwomen, if there's such a thing. I don't think there is such an animal, I don't think it actually exists. But really people on the outside would have looked at you and thought, wow, incredible. And you came across as very confident, and you had this incredible job and great marriage and all of that. And even at that time, were you still feeling in yourself, were you feeling depressed or down or low, or how?
Well, you see, I had patches of low mood, but I was young and I was strong, and I had lots of good things around me. I was very lucky in that sense. So I shook it off. And then what happened to me was that 5 very difficult things happened in the space of 1 year. And, depression is in my family. There's a genetic link, which doesn't mean to say it's a predetermination. It's just a predisposition. So you might get it. So 5 very difficult things happened. And psychiatrists call those stressors. And if you get them all together and you have a vulnerability, then I just went under. And the other reason I went under was because I didn't know the symptoms of depression, so I didn't know to go and get help.
Ah, okay. And I think that's really quite common, actually. And again, you're the kind of person who would keep soldiering on.
Yes.
And so many people do. Especially women do, especially if you've got a kid.
Absolutely.
That's the thing, because you're always putting the child first, and you're kind of thinking, well, I'll just get on with it. It'll be fine.
Absolutely.
I'll just keep going.
Absolutely.
You said lots of things happened to you. Was that the marriage ending? Was that?
Yes, my marriage broke up, and I, moved house, and I moved into a flat to be near my daughter. I fell in love with somebody, completely in love, and it was a very difficult situation. I got fired from my job. A really good friend of mine died very suddenly and unexpectedly. And it was just all those things, happening at once, actually.
Well, even one of those would be enough to sink you, but all
but
of that
I
coming
kept thinking,
together.
people cope with this every day, and I have no right to be depressed, and and you do walk around, like on a sunny day, you walk around thinking, I should be happy, I should be happy, I should be happy. And so depressives tend to beat themselves up and make themselves even iller, actually.
And of course, people will probably say daft things like pull yourself together, and that's the worst thing you can possibly say, because of course you want to, but you can't. And it's not like, I always remember years and years and years ago when I worked at TVAM interviewing Rod Steiger, and he said that when he got depressed, he said, look, it's not like feeling a bit under the weather. He said he wanted to just go and lie in a corner and just die. It was like the whole world was black.
Absolutely.
And he just, he couldn't actually function. And it's very difficult if you're not there, to understand just how bad it is.
Absolutely.
And how bad it can get, because it got so bad you attempted suicide, didn't you?
Yes. But again, you see, suicide, or suicidal ideation as it's called, is simply a symptom of depression. Everybody with severe depression has that symptom. So to somebody who's not depressed, that sounds absolutely extraordinary. And as the depression begins to lift, so does the suicidal impulse. As you get better, it goes away. And there are lots of symptoms of depression, such as being very self-absorbed, which simply means a self closing in on itself, as if to sort of, it's like an animal disappearing into a corner who's wounded or ill, you know. So these are all symptoms of an illness, and quite a lot of people have said to me that they don't know how to be around people with depression who they love, and they get irritable, which I completely understand, because actually it's bad enough being around yourself when you're depressed. But if you look at it as an illness and think, you know, if that person I love had pneumonia, I wouldn't tell them to pull themselves together or lose patience or become irritable with them. I would just accept that they need to sleep, they might want to withdraw, they might cry because they're feeling very low. You know, any illness we feel low in.
No, I mean, of course you do. Even if you get flu, you feel terrible. It takes you a while to get over that.
Totally.
You've managed to get your life together, which congratulations.
Thank you.
And also the relationship that you had, that you know at that
I
time was
married
difficult.
him.
I know, well done. Peter, I married him, which is great, and things are looking good. And what I do like about the book, Sally, and it's out just now, is the fact that yes, it's your story, but there's some really good practical help in here.
Yes, no, that's what's really important about it. And I told my story because it's the only story I can tell.
Of course.
It's the only one I know.
But also that's what's really good about it, because oftentimes people don't know where to turn to. So if you do have any problems, I can highly recommend Shoot the Damn Dog. It's out now. Great to see you. Thank you so much indeed. And loads of help and advice as well about depression on the website gm.tv. There we are. Still to come this morning, what's the worst thing you remember about 1980s fashion? We remember it well, do we not? Well, we do. After the break, we will be revealing the 80s trends that are all coming back. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Hi, welcome back. In a moment, we are talking about the 1980s fashion trend you thought you might never see again, but we know it is back. First though, if you are in need of a break, all this week we're testing out some of the nation's top spas. Today, I'm a Celebrity star, Gemma Atkinson, is relaxing at the beautiful Cameron House Spa in Scotland.
There are lots of things I love about Scotland, and this spa is definitely one of them. The rosemary-infused More Mud soothes as well as exfoliates the skin. While I'm wrapped in the mud, I'm treated to a relaxing face and scalp massage. This is the next part of the treatment, the rain shower experience. You'd think I'd be tired of being covered in mud. This treatment is perfect for soothing tired, aching muscles. Well guys, that's it. This whole treatment has been absolutely amazing. I'm so relaxed, I could just stay here forever.
Oh, didn't that look absolutely gorgeous? Wouldn't you love to do that? It'd be amazing. Thank you, Gemma. Now, they do say that fashions often come around again, but I bet you thought you'd seen the last of 1980s jumpsuits. Crimes against fashion, are they really coming back? Well, Erica Davis is here. Can I just put my hand up and say that I had an orange jumpsuit and a lilac one as well, and thought I was gorgeous.
Boiler suit style.
Boiler suit style with the big belts.
With the big belts.
And then I wore white boots with gold fringes.
With tapered legs and boots, yeah.
And I've looked ridiculous.
I bet you'd look lovely now. You see, they're all back. You
Are
saw
they
the Nolans?
really? Is it? Oh,
they're
for
all like that.
goodness sake.
The most difficult thing you could possibly ever wear.
Miss Kylie's been wearing them,
She
though.
wore one. She did the
Yes.
whole safari thing.
Now, that's
lately.
not bad. Mind you, that wee tiny girl can wear anything.
Size 8, 5 foot Kylie, yeah, can get away with it.
So kind of safari jumpsuit thing, okay then.
And that's a very big trend.
Okay.
And we've actually got
Let's
Andy
have a look.
in a very similar style. So if we're going to bring out Andy now.
Do you know what? That's okay.
It's lovely.
That's actually really nice.
It's really chic. This is Debenhams. It's Julia McDonald at Debenhams. It's £60. And it's just a really classic colour.
I love how you've styled that actually with the belt and the big beads and everything. It's
So the
gorgeous.
necklace is New Look, that's £8, and the great belt there, big waist cincher belt, that's £18 from Miss Selfridge, and so's the bag, that's £40 from Miss Selfridge.
Look at the size of that bag. I love it.
Bigger, yeah, big bag.
good.
And those fabulous shoes are from All Saints, £65, and it just makes it a lot more modern with the coloured heel.
Yeah, 65. That's good.
Yeah.
They look real designery.
They're great, aren't they? Really, really lovely shoe.
Gorgeous.
This is a great look if you want to sort of embrace the trend slightly, but still be a bit neutral. And the
Love it.
safari trend is great.
I really like that. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thanks,
Now, the only
Andy.
thing is, which obviously Andy doesn't have the problem with these jumpsuits, is I think they make your backside look gigantic.
You have to be so careful.
Showing movies on your bum. You really have to be careful.
You have to be so careful.
Wow.
Isn't this fabulous?
This is great. I love it. What
This is
a
our
great
Louise
colour.
in a gorgeous Topshop blue one. Now, this is a bit Margot from The Good Life.
It is a wee bit Margot.
But it's just a really great evening look. It's the one shoulder. It's £100 from Topshop, and we've just styled it up there with necklaces from Miss Selfridge and shoes from New Look.
Well, nice wee cheeky shoes.
They're
I like
lovely.
those.
They're
Lovely colour.
£20,
There
and
we
we've
go.
just clashed it slightly because picking out in the necklace. But this is something, if you really want to go for this look, then you
It's
go.
a wee bit
for it.
Abigail's party as well.
It is a little
Just
bit.
a wee bit. But great colour.
But a real head turner, this one.
And is that a frock? That's an actual.
No, it's a
trousers.
jumpsuit, yeah.
Aye.
So it's actually-
So I wondered. I said, hang on, she sneaked a frock in. No, she hasn't.
So that would actually be a bit more flattering
Yeah.
if you're wider on the bottom half because the trousers are
Fantastic.
so wide.
Thank you, love.
Thanks, Louise.
Great stuff. Okay.
The next one up we have is just a bit more of a chic and classy number, which Sasha's wearing.
Oh, look at Sasha.
Now, it
Gorgeous.
helps having a figure like Sasha.
Sasha's got a beautiful
to
figure.
get away with this
Beautiful
one,
figure.
which is Reese. It's a bit more expensive. It's £135, and this really would show off your bum.
It would.
So if you're petite like Sasha, this is the
Yeah.
perfect style because the legs are so tight. And then we've just done gold with that. So
Yeah.
we've got gold shoes from Office, which are £55. The fab necklace and bracelet are accessorised. And we have put that with a really nice belt, which is leather, and it's £29.99.
That really finishes it off.
Yeah.
Very
Looks
elegant.
Very elegant and chic, that
I like
one.
that a lot.
Yeah. So I think that's the one to wear if you want to show off your figure a bit more.
Indeed. Sasha, thank you.
Thanks,
Beautiful.
Sasha.
Beautiful. Stunning girl.
She is. And next up we have Oreke, and she's wearing our work look. So
Oh, this is cute.
It's
It's
a
very
nice
young, but it's
alternative.
very cute.
Yeah, it is. And a nice alternative to the skirt suit.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you can get away with shorts in the office, wear it with tights. We've put it with clumpy heels there. That one is from Urban Outfitters and it's £48.
That's not bad at all.
No. The little blouse underneath is £45 from Warehouse. And the shoes, which are fab, are £55 from Nine West. And again, it's that two-tone shoe. That's just a really nice, cute little
Yeah,
look.
it's good. And I'm loving these big bags, Erica, because you know I hate
know.
wee bags because I've always got so much stuff.
Knock everyone out of the way with
I
those.
love them.
That's gorgeous. The
That
bag's
is really
35
cute. Like I say, it's
Warehouse.
very young, but it's very cute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Flower. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
And then if we've got Andy ready, quick change right there. They're not the
Change.
easiest
Oh,
things to
well
get in
done.
and out
Oh,
of.
no, this is great.
This is fabulous.
I love this.
Now, we're all fighting over this one
Oh,
backstage.
that's a good one. That is a good one.
It's actually out in April, and it's from
Okay.
Dorothy Perkins. It's £45, but it's the time of year when everyone's thinking about summer holidays, what to wear. This is perfect, and it's jersey, it's really comfortable, and it's just the perfect thing to throw on, I think. And also, if you're curvier, it's a bit more of a godsend.
Now, is that, did you put those little wooden beads round there,
No,
around the
it's
top?
all-
That all comes with
all
it, and the
part
belt
of it.
comes with it also?
The belt we've added.
You've added the belt.
That's just a sash. But
That's pretty.
And then the bag is from French Connection. That's
Ooh,
£50.
okay.
The little shoes are 55.9 West, and we've just accessorised with £1.50 Primark sunnies.
Fantastic. I think that looks really lovely.
It's
That'd be
a really
great.
nice
You know that way
look.
on holiday where you want to look elegant,
Yeah.
but you just want to be comfortable
Yeah.
also. Beautiful. Erica, thank you. That was great. And thanks to my girls. That was absolutely lovely. That's it for today. Alan Carr. Oh, Alan Carr's hilarious. I did a mad show with him, Celebrity Ding Dong I did with him. I think it'll be on in a couple of weeks. And I'm pretending to be drunk in it, thank you. And The Feeling as well. Goodness, I'll be watching that. Join them tomorrow on Entertainment Today. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Crumpets need more butter than that.
That's all right.
And I think you could use a bit more.
Kingsmill love to toast. Everyone's an expert.